Shalom, everyone. My name is Sylvain גיאקומי. I am a senior researcher at the Zoological Station, Anton, Dohrn in Italy. I am also affiliated to the University of Queensland in Australia as a senior research fellow. I am a marine ecologist and expert in marine conservation planning. My role in this project is to implement the principles of systematic conservation planning for the identification of priority areas for conservation in Israel's exclusive economic zone. More specifically, I will apply the conservation planning software Maxam that was also used for the designation of marine protected areas in Australia's exclusive economic zone, as presented earlier by Barbara. Why systematic conservation planning? In the past, the designation of protected areas was based on non-quantitative criteria, which included the aesthetic or touristic value of an area. Often these areas were remote and of low economic productivity. These areas sometimes had some economic value, but other times not really. Later, more quantitative approaches were driving the designation of protected areas, such as species richness or the so-called hotspots, so how many species are present in an area, or the vulnerability of species, so how many species are threatened. Even though these approaches are data-based, they still do not consider important planning principles that are incorporated into systematic conservation planning. For instance, a very important principle is complementarity. To really conserve biodiversity, one shouldn't protect only species-rich areas, but also areas where important ecological functions occur, even if these are relevant to only one species, which can, for instance, be a top predator. So, for example, we would want to protect nursery areas for sharks, even if this area hosts very few other species. Another important principle that is core to systematic conservation planning is efficiency. That means we try to protect species, but at the least possible cost for human activities that will be displaced because of protection. Therefore, in systematic conservation planning, we do not account only for ecological data, but also socioeconomic data corresponding to the activities, economic activities that take place in a planning area. On many occasions, and especially when it comes to offshore and deep sea areas, the data may be limited. Yet, data limitation is not an obstacle in producing conservation plans. Surrogates, such as bathymetry and geological features that are associated different types of marine communities, are often used. This was the case in the Australian planning process, as described by Barbara. Moreover, we can use spatial predictive models to fill knowledge gaps. We can predict with quite high certainty areas that are ecologically important. Ground truthing can help us calibrate the models and validate the results. Therefore, there are rigorous scientific methods to overcome data limitations. Thank you, and I am happy to take questions.